So let's take a look at example 2, connecting similar triangles with the scale factor. Calculate the scale factor that relates to the side lengths of the large logo to the side lengths of the small one. So what we've done is, if given the original question without any labels, we might add our own. So here you can see that we've labeled the yellow triangle with vertices ABC. We've shown that there's 3 internal angles, 76, 74, and 30, and that one side is 8 centimeters. And that the second triangle, the second large triangle, we've labeled as BDE with the respective angles, and that again, one side is 8 centimeters. So when we're looking at the smaller set, so the second set, we want to find the scale factor, right? How much is it reduced by? Is it being reduced by half? Is it being reduced by 30%? We can definitely tell that the smaller one is much smaller than just half of the original. So if I were to do the measurements in the textbook, I would find that the left side was 2.0 centimeters. This other side is 2.0 centimeters. And because I know that they are similar, right, I'm going to label them and make it a little easier for me to reference. So I'm going to use the same labels, but again, I'm going to use that little tick mark. That tick mark we read as A prime. So A prime here, B prime, C prime, D prime, E prime on the smaller one. And if we want to make a statement that they are similar, what we do is we write triangle ABC is similar. So we use this little squiggle. It's kind of like a sideways S. Is similar to triangle A prime, B prime, C prime, and that also triangle DBE is similar to triangle D prime, B prime, E prime. So one thing to note, you might be asking, well, like, what if I write BCA? That's totally fine. The angles can be written out of order. There's actually no order because there's no first, second, or third. So they can be written in any order, okay? And that this symbol here represents similar. So it is considered mathematical notation. So as well as equal pairs of corresponding sides, we can also make measurements and find out that, in fact, A prime angle is also 76 degrees. Okay? And that B prime is actually 74 degrees. And that C prime angle is 30 degrees. So when we're talking about the angles, I'm not going to write that they are similar because they are technically just the same. So how I would write that notation is the angle of A is actually the same as the angle of A prime. And I could do that for each of those corresponding angles. If I'm looking at B prime, D prime, E prime, and I see that, oh, hey, this is 76 as well. So I'm just going to use a little highlighter. So these two are the same, and these two angles are the same, and these two angles are the same. So I could also note that as well. Another method of writing angles is that you can actually describe all three vertices to kind of make a line, make a corner. So if I am talking about angle B, so right here, both of these being 74, okay, another way that I can describe that is calling it A, B, C. So notice it's as if I was just like drawing a line. The two lines that would basically create that angle. So I could say angle ABC is the same as DBE. DBE. Oops, I forgot that. And that is actually equal to 74 degrees. Now, I still haven't answered the question about scale factor, okay? So in terms of scale factor, let me just make some space up here. I still need to find the scale factor. So what I can actually do is say, let's look at the length AC, because that is the only side length we have. We don't have AB, we don't have BC, we only have these two, right? So we've got those two, and we've got, on the smaller version, 2. Well, I could say the scale factor could be A prime, C prime divided by AC. And so I know that over here, right, like this is 2 centimeters. 2 centimeters. That length is proportional to AC over here, right? So that's going to be 8 centimeters. And if I want to reduce that as a fraction, then I can say our scale factor here is actually 1/4. And another way of phrasing that is that the large logo is 4 times bigger than the small one, or I could say the small one is 1/4 of the original, or I could say that the sides of the large logo have been multiplied by a scale factor of 1/4 to reduce it to the small one.